Welcome, everybody, to Cup with Gup. PGA final thoughts for the Honda Classic. Wednesday, February 22nd, a little lunchtime break for me. We'll get this out right around 1-ish or so. Interesting week ahead. Looking forward to it. Mentioned it on the Smash Factor. I enjoy this week. I enjoy the course. Wish I was there. Always a fun time. If you'd like to join the community right now, Smash gets you 25% or 20% off any package, includes a 7-day risk-free trial. I think if you don't want any tools or anything, we only have two options: tools or no tools, basically. Content only or content plus the Green Machine lineup generator, golf tools, NFL tools. But $12 a month if you do an annual, I think, with the content only, or $23 with the tools and everything in there. Rate and review us on iTunes. We'll be doing some giveaways during the Players here in a couple weeks. And then we do a bunch of big giveaways for the Masters and all the majors, of course. But this is the way you get in for free. Subscribe and like this video on YouTube. That'll get you another entry into those giveaways. In the comment section, tell me, who do you think will win this year's Honda Classic? Listener League, link is in the description. When I last looked, I think we had, it's about 75% full or so. Let's get that filled up. 3 max per usual. 250 entries total this week. Weather, starting the final thoughts. I just don't see much. So there's wind at times, but it looks fairly consistent. As far as a full main slate, first 2 days, I'm not factoring any kind of wave. Obviously, if anything changes we get later into the night, certainly we'll adjust. But right now it looks really warm, really sunny, some winds in there. It looks like a great week, to be honest with you. Trending to be the highest, probably no surprises here for the most part. The Noren withdrawal yesterday, we'll toss a few things around, but Sungjae, Lowry, Wise, Kuchar, and then 3 guys are all, I got them, you can interchange all of them between McCarthy, Vegas, and Svensson. So those are kind of see, the late Noren kind of, because I felt like a lot of people were kind of going towards Noren. We'll see how that shakes things up. Potential sleeper, low-owned guys for me. Ben Taylor, 7,200, got him around that 4 to 6% mark. Limited out of there, but again, this is a week where taking some chances, things like that aren't necessarily the worst thing. SH Kim, I still got him sub 10% for sure. Not getting a total amount of love, and I still like him. He's even moved up a little bit for me since Monday. Ryan Palmer likes this course a lot. Remember we walked the back 9 with him that morning. He went out early, and winds were going to pick up in the afternoon. I don't remember what he shot, but he was close to the leader by the time he was done. May have been the leader. Missed a short putt on 18 that would have eventually got him into the playoff. But those kind of things we can't see here on the weekend, especially, where guys way out of it, get a live bet, stuff like that. But talking to him a few times on that back 9, he likes this place. He likes this tournament. He does well here. Deep dive wise, he was 10th in the course history for me. Not coming in with like tremendous, momentum or stuff like that, but 7,400, and you're going to get him 4 to 6%. I don't mind Palmer. Sam Stevens, Oklahoma State boy, definitely can play in the wind if that becomes a factor, but 7K, good young kid. I don't mind him. And Michael Kim, I try to be early on him. We saw the horrendous run after he, destroyed the John Deere Classic. Was that 2018? Missed, I don't know how many gets, a ton, but showing some flashes, showing some live. 6,800, I believe. You're going to get him 2 to 4%. He's kind of a, could be a low on sleeper that I don't mind. Guys that have moved up for me, Pendrith. I liked him, but I like him even more. 8,900, probably sub 15% or right around there, 15%. Binion, talked about him a little bit. He's got great course history here. But, when you look at everything, so the deep dive, I look at Corn Ferry, I look at DP, I look at, overseas, stuff like that. I definitely don't mind Binion this week. Poston's kind of moved up. He's in that range where maybe we get him a little less owned. 8Ks in general are going, a little less owned, minus a couple people. That seems to be pretty consistent most weeks, but definitely this week, You get Svensson in Vegas, but so much love in the 9K range, which we'll get to in a little bit, that it's hard to get all these 8Ks in when you want to play so much of the 10 and 9K range this week. It leaves a little bit of a dead zone. So I don't mind posting in general. Probably not necessarily a core, but it's moved up for me since Monday. And then Minwoo Lee, definitely, you look at the deep dive there, stuff he's done overseas. He's coming in much better than he would in any stats and all that. Interested to see. I've heard his name a few times. I don't know. I still don't know how many people will click him. I think the contest will be different for him. I think a $5 or $20 MME type stuff, probably a little lower, and he may get, more steam in a $100, $200 single entry. So that's something to keep an eye on. Fade or move down for me. I mean, this is really going to come down to two spots and just figuring out where or what you want to do or how you want to be different. Single entry 3 max isn't a big of a deal as the big MMEs because you're just not going up against as many combinations. Meaning if you're playing like a 300-man single entry, whether you have him or not, you can look at it both ways because let's say he's going to be, somewhere between 33 and 37% owned. Well, you only get one bullet anyway, so it's not like, and if you decide to go that route and just be really different in a couple spots in a single entry, it's easier to kind of get that leverage and still play the guy you want to play. Same with Lowry, however you want to do it. When you're going up against 70,000 lineups, even if you go 100% M, there's still going to be, a ton of lineups with M in it. And so it really makes you think about what's the best leverage spot, especially on a course like this, right? They can eat anybody up. So M Lowry and then Vegas Svensson, I think those are the two major spots this week. You got to figure out where you're comfortable. Do you want to fade one? Do you want to fade both? Or if you look at all four, do I play two, fade two, get overweight on the two I like? Do I, maybe you say I'm going to play M Lowry and I'll just fade Vegas and Svensson to make me naturally different than some others may be doing. Or the other way around. I'll play Vegas and Svensson. Cheaper, still owned. But I'll fade M and Lowry. I think those are things maybe we'll talk through E9 tonight with the premium members over in the Gups Corner live chat room. So McCarthy is a guy that I'll probably be off of. Got to make some cuts up there somewhere. And then Kuchar's on the fence for me. He's moved down for me. Definitely going to be owned. I think the Noren withdrawal only boosts him up in ownership. And while it's warranted, he hasn't played this course since I think 2011. Makes me think he doesn't really like it, but potentially playing the weaker field per se angle to go, hey, I can get my FedEx Cup points, I can get money against weaker competition, even though I don't really care for the place. I don't know. That's anecdotal for sure, but he's a guy that's kind of moved down a little bit for me as well. Staying strong for me, I got Pendrith, SH Kim, and Dietrich. Leverage plays, all the 9K guys right now I have at 12% or higher. So they're all going to have ownership. But Billy Ho is definitely probably the clear low owned in that range for me right now. Could change, but I think he'll be the lowest owned. Be interesting to kind of see the Noren effect, but I don't think many are going to go up to him. I think you see more go down to Kuchar, Wise, McCarthy type. AK, Higo and Seabez are both, lower owned, but I have 6 guys under 10% in the 8K range. So a little bit different than the 9 and 10K range, but, those two are certainly the lowest leverage plays right now. Underdog and Prize Picks, link is in the description. $1 for $1 match up to $100 with GUP. Underdog has your major best balls going, 500,000 in prizes, $10 to enter. There's a $3 one too if you want to start trying to get ahead on some drafts there. We saw the Open is going to allow the live guys in, so some of that stuff has kind of been why I'm waiting, because you don't want to get too many dead guys in your player pool that may not even have a chance to play all the majors. So I love that they're doing it. It definitely spreads out, and it'll be interesting to see as we start getting closer to the Masters and that locks. But we'll talk about it more. Probably in between the Players and Masters, we'll have a lot of conversations about it. May do some strategy talk on those drafts. They also have the Thursday 3-putt. these are daily contests. I think it's a 40K pot this week. Go check those out. There's a good leverage there, especially if people are just using the default rankings. You can go in there and create your own, move guys around. You can make a default ranking. So if you get a bunch going, it uses yours, not the system's. And it gets you familiar with their system, their app, if you had never used Underdog. And they'll start posting NFL stuff, I'm sure, quite early. That's their bread and butter. But I do like what they're doing for golf as well. I expect to see them grow that product as well. Prize picks, got 5 picks for you right now for round 1. I update these nightly with the bets that I like. I like McCarthy over 70.5. Remember, it's par 70. Cam Davis over 3.5, birdie or better. He could shoot a 72 and still get 4 birdies. That's just the kind of player he is. Minwoo over English, birdie or better. Dietrich over Kadira, birdie or better, and then Straka over 70.5. Those are my 5. You can add one to it if you want the full 6. And I'll have those updated nightly. Definitely be an interesting week on there, because normally we're used to, looking for who can get the most birdies, who can score each other. This week it may be who can, survive. We'll pull in live stuff, look at the fairways, greens, stuff like that, as it'll be tough scoring no matter how the conditions are out there. My final 5 for one and done: Pendrith, Dietrich, Billy Ho, Kirk, and Minwoo. As I said before, Smash gets you 20% off anything, includes a 7-day risk-free trial. Come check us out. We are hopefully short weeks away from launching all of our updated brand new dashboard golf tools, everything like that. Green Machine's still going. We're continuing up with that. We'll do some updates on it as well after we get all the golf tools rolled out, because we're gonna intertwine those a little bit more than we have now. So I'm looking forward to all that as we get towards the Players, past it into the Masters, and kind of going for the summer. Big overhaul, and then some things thrown into the kink there, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a fun week. This is a very strategy week, and where do you want to be different at? Should be a fun E9 tonight as well. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.